It says, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin L. Bragg Jr. today announced the guilty plea of Allen Weisselberg, 75, the chief financial officer of the Trump Organization and an employee of the Trump Corporation. Everything's fine so far, folks, so hold on. Then it goes on to say, for devising and operating a 15-year scheme to defraud federal, New York State, and New York City tax authorities, evading payment of taxes on $1.76 million in unreported income. Did you see it? Did you notice it? Did you hear it? That little detail that said federal. Weisselberg's plea deal is only with the Manhattan DA for state-level crimes. But nobody ever said anything about federal tax crimes until that statement. So hold your horses here. What does that mean? What does it mean for the feds? What does it mean for the DOJ? You know, that big old investigative body that's working overtime right now on multiple Trump cases? It means this. If the feds go after Weisselberg, he may be in for a whole lot more than that little sentence that the New York State just handed him of 5 months, where he will maybe serve about 100 days. It might mean that Mr. Weisselberg could face the squeeze of the federal government, which has the power to charge him with a federal tax crime, or plural, a tax crime like the one he just admitted to in that plea agreement. And a judge could sentence him to hard time, where, because it's federal, he has to serve almost all of it. You don't get good time. So would that be enough incentive for Mr. Weisselberg to turn against Donald Trump? Because he refused to do that at the state level yesterday. And of course, what effect could all of that have on Trump-endorsed candidates? I want to bring in two people who know a lot about Donald Trump and his influence over the Republican Party. Renato Mariotti is an attorney and a former federal prosecutor. And Cheri Jacobus is a longtime GOP insider, a former Republican strategist, and the host of the podcast Politics with Cheri Jacobus. She once sued Donald Trump for defamation. So Renato, put on your legal hat, because that's what you do. And tell me all about that little business about the federal case, that little piece of the statement from the Manhattan DA that listed federal as something Mr. Weisselberg was admitting to having done, violating a federal tax statute.
It is interesting. There's no double jeopardy there. So you can, for example, be found guilty of cheating the state tax authorities and the federal tax authorities. So it's certainly possible. And I think it's something that Weisselberg's team is thinking about. I think they've made a calculation that the Southern District of New York is not going to charge them. I think if they thought they were, then they wouldn't have made the deal. But it's interesting. I mean, I do think that's hitting out there. And I think one of the issues that I think you're pointing to, Ashley, is that since Trump has problems on so many fronts, those, in my experience, when defendants have problems on a number of different fronts, it can often be difficult to balance all of those and keep yourself out of trouble in all of them.
I mean, I just keep wondering, I was surprised, first of all, that Allen Weisselberg decided, I am not going to turn on Donald Trump. I figured it might be because of Weisselberg's son more than it was Donald Trump, because it kind of involved his son and his son's ex-wife and the apartment they had and the fancy school their kids went to. So part of me thought that he wasn't so much protecting Donald Trump as he was protecting his son. But Cheri, the notion of a federal indictment for tax crimes of not a little bit, a lot of it, like $1+ million is a lot for a lot of us, is real. And hard time in a federal prison after your hard time, well, kind of hard time in the state, is hard for a 75-year-old man. But then again, we keep coming back to Teflon Don, don't we? Everything he's faced in the past, he has been able to shed like water off a duck's back. Do you think that that's the same story now?
I sense that things are changing. I think things are changing. I've been waiting for things to change for a long time. We all have. And I'm not very Pollyannish about it at all. But there's just this fire hose of Trump scandals. And I think the January 6th committee put a dent into this. I think what's happening in New York with Weisselberg and some other issues are putting a dent into the Teflon Don. And, during the summertime when people are on vacation and they're not paying a lot of attention generally to politics, they were paying attention to the January 6th committee hearings. And they're definitely paying attention to what happened in Mar-a-Lago, and that we now know Trump has classified and top secret documents, and he's being investigated for violations of the Espionage Act. I mean, this is now getting to the point where you can't excuse it. People are paying attention, and I'll tell you something, they're going to start paying attention a lot more after Labor Day. That's traditionally when things really heat up. So I think that there's so much now coming to a head. So many people are distancing themselves from him, including his children, it would appear, or at least Jared and Ivanka. So I think this could be the tipping point. And I never say that. I have not really been saying that for a very long time because, you know, he does seem to slip away. But this feels different to me.
Is it the shooting someone on Fifth Avenue moment is what I always consider it, because he said that, you know, in 2016 when he was kicking off his campaign. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.